Well, it's going. It's a mix. Okay, so sales are actually really good right now. Cash less so. That is kind of my fault. I mean, what it is we've had a few invoices paid, which is wonderful. But as I'm getting the cash in, I'm just paying suppliers because they need to be paid. It's not fair that they're made to wait any longer. So as much as it would be good to hang on to the cash, I'm like, I really need to pay these suppliers. Pay what I owe. Uh, so far we've done sales 25k just this month so far, which is amazing in that we're only just about halfway through the month, if that actually. Um, so from that perspective, we're doing great. We're not cash. Some of the invoices have been paid, not many. Actually, we've only had about 6-7 grand come in. So there's another 18, 19 that we're owed. I probably won't get to the end of the month. But on paper it's great. The bank balance isn't as good. But now we've got the other the other fun of staffing. So what I mean is basically Cameron didn't come in today. He's apparently going to the doctors. Whether he is or not, I don't know. I assume so. And Ryan left just before lunchtime had finished because he's cracked his tooth. So I'm like, oh, like when we've got the least amount of staff, it's difficult. It really is. So I'm on building or on the build side of stuff, but that's hard because right now I don't have all the components necessarily that I need. I do and I don't. There are things that I can build, but I kind of still want to build in the order that's in the system, and I can't do that. I have to kind of build random stuff. Um, not completely random, but I mean like random in the order, to try and you know, try and actually be productive. But sadly not in the order that we want to be. So this is my fun all day, dealing with, well, not all day, I've been dealing with this rack, I've been trying to build some lights, and we've got a bunch of lights in this tank here, which are just samples, which is why they're not all the way down, because the leads are only 1 metre. But there's some nice ones in there, so they'll still be tested exactly the same way. Yes, that water does need emptying out and cleaning. I'm starting to use this a little bit more, and it is working quite nicely. So the biggest challenge, again, I've got right now is literally staff. I think there's two things I've got to think about. One is, so we seem to be getting busier and busier. So say earlier on I said about, so we had another order in, then I've spoke to another customer, and again, they'll be putting in a fairly large order shortly. And it seems to be all going that way, which is great. So everything's starting to kick off again. The problem is how do you then deal with these orders in this period of time. So obviously what we want to do is build up cash, and then in the quiet times you build up stock, and then you're ready to go again when it gets busy again. So I think my first step, so I want to employ more staff, but I can't jump to that step at the moment. So I think the best thing at the moment to ask is that ask everyone if they can do an extra hour every day. I mean, they work a really easy day, so it shouldn't be a big ask, and then possibly it will stay that way. But that's probably the best first port of call, and then we'll look at maybe extra staff a little bit down the road if it carries on to be really busy. I mean, it'd be obviously helpful if people weren't off. So that doesn't help things. Oh, look, I've answered the phone. Yeah, so I was just having a chat with Max just before he left, and basically we agree that what we do is we're going to ask everyone to do an extra hour, except Ryan, because Ryan doesn't need to do any extra time. It's not going to add anything to the operations side of it. But for the rest of us, like Liam, Joe, Cameron, then like we kind of pick up the slack from that way, and we'll do that until a point that I guess we can't really cope, and then we can just kind of look at what we're going to do hiring wise or whatever, should we need to, and it might be best to start with kind of temporary labour that could turn into a permanent contract or similar, as and when we get down that inroad. It'd be nice to get to that inroad, but at the moment I want to be really conservative. because it was only a few days ago that I'm saying, oh my God, like the world is going to end and it's all falling apart. And, you know, like I say, I've said it a bunch of times, but from a cash flow point of view, we're not, you know, we're still not in a great place. We've still got loads of bills and loads of debtors and stuff to pay. But from an order perspective and what money will be coming in, will be great, will be fine. It's just obviously an as and when's that going to come in. So I'm just like literally waiting for this, thing to finish setting our voicemail. There we go, it's done. Yes, so you know, it's progress, it's moving in the right direction. It's just when is that going to happen? The other thing that's happening at the moment is the whisker side's getting consistently busier as well. So at the moment I think every day now since about Wednesday last week, we've been selling about 30 to 40 spikes each day, which is lovely, but then it takes one of us about an hour and a half to kind of process through that, plus the admin time, which is normally another half hour, because it's like two or three orders that need to be, you know, invoice allocated, added to the system, and all of that kind of thing. And so you know, it'd be great to see that bit of the business really move on. It should, you know, it's been going for a while. Potentially, we could see a completion on that by the end of this week. I'm hoping it will. Again, because, well, not only do I want to get the cash into the business to pay these debts and get everything squared up and get everything sorted and whatnot, I also would like to see it go on and grow, and it's got, you know, keep saying it's got this massive potential, and it could become big in its own separate entity, really. And it, you know, it's taken up too much time away from us. You know, if automatically I could save an hour and a half every day, not having to worry about that side of things. And as well, at the moment we're not having to do any maintenance on those printers. And when you add the maintenance side, that can be half a day to a day sometimes. So again, you know, it'd be very good to see that to see it move on. So yeah, I think things are moving in the right direction. It's just it's just all timing, isn't it? Really. I don't know. The other things are the Haas hasn't been running well on aluminium, really randomly. It's to do with, it's not randomly actually, it's to do with the boring bar, and basically the last boring bar we had just failed completely. They were the ones I think I put on the Nakamura and just destroyed them on the Nakamura. We didn't need a big boring bar on the Haas at the time, and now we do. So what's going to happen is tomorrow we should have a new carbide boring bar turning up. We're going to whack that on the Nakamura and then put the HSS one, not HSS, I always say HSS, the steel shank one that's on the Nakamura on the Haas, because that's actually running quite well, considering it's running in stainless steel and it's running really nicely. I would say we would go, oh actually no, it makes more sense to, you know, put the carbide one straight onto the Haas, but it's an expensive boring bar, it's through coolant, and it just won't be utilised on the Haas at all. So there's just no point. It'd be better served on the Nakamura. So yeah, that's the staring at my forehead. That's the plan. Sunny, it's lovely, beautiful day. It's starting to feel a bit more like spring. In mid-March, you know, it's nice. I can't wait to be nice to have a picnic bench outside work and sit out and enjoy ourselves a little bit. So I'm hopeful that we're going to have some good times ahead. You know, we're getting through the cold winter, and we'll see what happens with our orders. I mean, hopefully this is just the beginning. Hopefully I'll be doing some vlog videos where I'm going, oh my god, there's like, you know, too much on and I can't handle it, because I would rather it be stupidly busy and we have loads of money coming in and I don't know what to do with myself than be the opposite. The opposite is just, it's terminal, is it? There's no point, there's no surviving. So it's better to have too much than too little. So yeah, anyway, I'll let you guys go and we'll see you soon. Thanks.